So what does it take to have a successful online marketing business in 2025? I'm going to break down the system. We're talking my ads ecosystem plus the offer system that I recommend to all of my private clients in order to be able to sustain profitability even with rising ad costs. Some of you guys have probably already noticed that the market is very different even than it was 6 months ago. As a matter of fact, you're probably really tired of people saying that, but it's true. And unless you have this system, and I'm not even talking about my ads ecosystem, I'm talking about an offer system in order to create sustainability. This is going to be more and more important going into 2026. And so I'm going to break down my business model. And as I'm drawing this out, I'm going to explain why I do the things that I do. And you're going to see whether you look at my business model, whether you look at Dan Henry's business model, whether you look at Anik Singhal, Molly Mahoney, all of the greats. I'm not including myself. I'm not a great. But if you look at the offers of a lot of the greats, you're going to see a lot of similarities in the way that my system looks. And it's by design because it works. I'm going to show you guys how simple it is, though, because a lot of times people try to overcomplicate this. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen, and then I am going to literally lay out my entire offer stack on the table, tell you a little bit behind the scenes, and we're just going to have some coffee and we're just going to have a good time this morning. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. All right, so here we go. Okay, so first thing you need is traffic, right? This is something that a lot of those big box coaching programs actually don't tell you, is how insanely expensive traffic can be when it comes to paid advertising. Facebook ads have gone up in the last several months. YouTube ads have gone up. But here's the good news, is those who are able to create a system, and it's not too late. It's almost too late, but it's not too late yet. Those who figure out how to rig the game using my ads ecosystem along with this system that I'm going to show you guys today, you guys can literally rig the game to win. And as I'm going through this, I'll explain exactly what I mean by that, okay? So in my world, we're sending traffic to two places, right? People think that I don't send cold traffic or any type of traffic to a funnel. That's not exactly true. Most of my clients do have these funnels, okay? As a matter of fact, if you look at my $7 program, it's not quite a funnel in the sense that most of you guys think of it as a funnel, but it is a funnel. So let me actually explain, okay? So here's the main mistake that most people make when it comes to building some type of funnel, right? A lot of times people will be like, well, I'll do a low ticket offer, right? I'll do something like $7 like your offer, Laurel, and then I'll do like a $27 order bump, and then I'll sell something that's like $5,000. What a lot of people don't realize is that if you're paying $3 a click to send people to this offer and only 2% buy, you're looking at spending $80 to $90 to acquire that $7 customer. And so what ends up happening is a lot of people run out of cash flow before they have enough volume to be able to sustain running this type of funnel, okay? So the reason that I always tell people, start with one core offer that's going to give you cash flow, right? So if we look at a core offer right here, for me, back in the day, that was my done for you ads, okay? Now, over the years, that has changed. Now, my core offer is Lean on Laurel. My mentor actually suggests that you do something that he calls big head, long tail. And what that means is you're selling your core offer for something like, let's just say like $10,000, and then you sell them something recurring that's like $500. So that's the big head, long tail. What I have done with Lean on Laurel, however, is I've kind of combined these things. And I do that because I like having cash flow every single month. And that's why recurring is really good, because if you have a $10,000 offer, once you graduate people from that and you have this $500 recurring, you don't have to start from scratch every single month. And so that's why I like the cash flow of Lean on Laurel. is my program is $2,000 a month. And before you guys ask, I'll just tell you what that is. So Lean on Laurel is basically a hybrid model. So if you think agency meets consulting, because I'm finding that a done-for-you offer when it comes to ads requires the client to have some sort of knowledge. And so I'm like, you know what? Instead of you relying on me while you're learning, we're gonna tag team. We're gonna get all of your ads up. And so that's what we do in Lean on Laurel. A lot of times people think that Lean on Laurel is just about doing ads. It's actually about building a sustainable business system like this in addition to ads. Okay. So that's my Lean on Laurel program in a nutshell. If you want more information, go to adswithlaurel.com. So I've got my $2,000 a month offer here. But like I said, my mentor likes the big head long tail, which would be something like $10K, then $500 a month recurring. Okay. So this is what I started with, my core offer. Okay. That brought cash flow. That brought cash flow into the door. So once I had this cash flow coming, right, then I was able to see what it looked like to sell my $7 offer, because at the same time, as I was getting leads for this offer, what I ended up doing was I was downselling them into the $7 offer. So I got my first 1,000 or so customers all organic from just marketing this right here. But now, this is what this system looks like. Now that I have a validated $7 offer, I send traffic straight to this $7 offer. And then what I do is I have a $100 offer inside the $7 program. That is a 2-day blitz. It's a 2-day ads blitz. And then on that ads blitz, I sell people into Lean on Laurel. So you can see I have a nice little flow. So I have an acquisition offer, I have a liquidation offer, and then I have my core offer that's bringing in all of the cash flow. Okay. Now, where does my ecosystem fit into this? Okay. So my ecosystem is more than just ads. Okay. So I'll put my ecosystem, I'll draw my ecosystem out in blue. So right here, we're also sending traffic to videos that are super high value, and they're building the invisible list. Okay. So people who watch 25% or more of this video, they become a lead because they have watched at least 25% of this video. But people who have also bought my $7 offer are also leads. They're a paid lead, right? But it's also a physical lead because I can see exactly who they are. So you can see I'm using traffic to build a physical list and an invisible list. But other than that, they become a lead, right? So what we have now is an acquisition system and a lead generating system. Oftentimes, this is going to be, think about this as an iceberg, right? This is just the tip of the iceberg, but the iceberg is really down here, right? Because your invisible list is always going to be way bigger than your physical list if you're building out my ecosystem. So this person becomes a lead, so they get to sit on the conveyor belt, right? And so the conveyor belt is just doing more types of content. By the way, if you want to see the workshop of what type of content actually goes on this conveyor belt to nurture people into buying, drop conveyor belt below in the comments and I will send it straight to your messenger. I won't ask you for a name or email or anything like that. I will gift it to you. My gift for you watching this video. And so once we drop these other pieces of content here, they're going to continue to nurture our leads. So when we do some type of webinar or a live event, right? Some type of Zoom call I have 2 of them a month in the $7 program. Onyx and Gal calls them monthly activation events. I really like that. But anyway, this is a way to get all of our leads together and then push them to that core offer. And so I'm doing 2 of these a month. A lot of times people just do them once a month, but most people ask me, Laurel, why do you get so many people on your webinar? Like whenever I do a webinar, there's 300, 400 people there live. It's because of the conveyor belt. It's because I'm building out this ads ecosystem. So as you can see, this ads ecosystem is built around this offer system here. And so I wanted to just kind of sit down and map that out because a lot of times people think, well, Laurel started with the $7 program. Laurel did not start with the $7 program. Laurel started with a cash flow offer, worked her way back, and then built this entire system. So if you want me to help you not only with your ads, but also building this offer ecosystem, just go to adswithlaurel.com, or you can drop a line below this video and I'll personally reach out. I don't take on clients that I know that I can't help, so you're gonna have to meet certain qualifications. But other than that, this is my favorite thing, because guys, in the coming months, having some type of system like this is going to be the most important thing that you can do in order to sustain your profitability. Otherwise, ad costs are going to keep going up. And if you don't have something like this, you need to put it in place now before it's too late.